All right, I'm live. Hope you like my house. Virtual reality here. I'm going to, like I said not too long ago, I'm going to be starting my own media company. And I'm looking into different companies that do podcasts and stuff like that. And as far as I can tell, they're all trash because you have to do so much and they don't teach you how to do it. And so my podcast, or what I'm talking about today, is the death of customer service. How everything is, and you probably experienced it already, everything is going AI, and you don't actually talk to a live person on the phone, and all the other problems that I'm going to explain to you that I've gone through in the last year, getting a business off the ground and talking to different people, all the money I've spent trying to get things going, and have nothing but problems on every single place I've gone to so far. I think it all started back the first part of this year. I started using a company out in California to help me build a website uh, for my business. And they started building the website, but then I started running into all these problems. And it wasn't long, maybe a month or two, I told them I wanted to shut down and get my money back. And they said they wouldn't because I was changing my mind. I said I wasn't changing my mind. You guys aren't doing your jobs. They weren't doing their jobs. They call these things deliverables. These things are what the company says they're going to do for you. Okay. If you see a lot of ghosting going around, it's because of this virtual background. And I look like, I don't know, like a monster from outer space or something. Wow. Anyway, I, I had nothing but problems with that company. And it took me a while. I don't think I got all my money back, but I got some of it. $600 or $700. I don't know. I know I spent over $1,000 with this company trying to get my website built. And then it wasn't long after that. I'm not sure when I started. In March, maybe April, I started trying to find somebody to help me publish a book. And uh, once again, this has to do with customer service and people, employees of a company, all related to my podcast, which is going to be about the death of customer service. The customer service, I think, is eventually going to, go to where we won't be able to talk to live people anymore. Anyway, I started working with this company out of Florida. What was crazy about this whole process is that their actual home office is in New York, but they had a virtual reality uh, branch office in Florida, St. Petersburg. I can't remember the name of the place. But I started working with those guys, spent $3,000 trying to get this book published, and they put together a website. They gave me their deliverables. Like I said, it's just a list of everything they're going to do for me. And they were doing some of the things, but other things they were not doing. They're also supposed to give me a roadmap of everything they were going to do for me on top of the deliverables, and they weren't doing that. And I kept on telling them that they're not doing their jobs. So I started off with one person. I don't know what his position was, account manager or whatever. And I started having problems with him because he's from a different country. He couldn't understand me. I mean, he wasn't speaking a different language. It's just he had this accent, so I couldn't understand him. I don't know if he's from Pakistan or India, where he's from, but you know how those people have the accents, you can't understand a lot of what they say. So I had problems with that guy, and I kept telling him I didn't want to work with him anymore. And he just kept bugging me, saying, well, he called me master, probably because I'm a master sergeant, but I thought he was talking about me being a master in Kung Fu or something. I wasn't a master in Kung Fu. I feel like it though. Anyway, so I started having problems with that guy. And I finally got it changed and got somebody else. And they kept on telling me, well, this guy is the best in our company or something kind of nonsense like that. And I said, well, I need to work. I come to find out what happened was I was not the only person they were working with. They were working like 10 different other people. Okay, whatever. And so I wasn't getting a lot of my issues resolved because they have so many, they're overburdened with whatever they're doing with all these different clients and everything. Okay. So I had that problem on top of, I had just one problem on top of another one. Is that basically what it came down to? On the second person I talked to, once again, started having, um, you know, language barriers, him understanding me and not me understanding him, repeating ourselves over and over and over again. And then I had a problem with background noise, and that was the worst part, was the background noise. I couldn't understand anything they were saying because I had to shout and scream, telling him, "Hey, I can't understand you. You need to get on a private line or something so I can hear you because I'm hitting all this background noise." And of course, he didn't do it. So then I went to another person, that's the third person now I've gone to, and this company helped me publish this book. They head to my website, and you've probably seen it on Facebook. This my book and everything was ready to go, but once again, they weren't giving me the deliverables that I needed. Everything that they said they were going to do, optimizing on Amazon, optimizing on this, optimizing, trying to get my book to where they promised me that in 6 months I'd have X amount of dollars, whatever. I don't know, several thousand, hundred. I don't remember how much it was, but it was a lot of money. In 6 months I was going to have all this money with what they do. Okay, you know, marketing, whatever it was. Well, they just weren't doing their jobs. So the third person wasn't doing his job. And I spent $3,000 with these idiots. And I told them, I says, well, I need to get my money back. They said, no, that's change of mind. Well, what they mean by change of mind is that I don't want to work with them, just because whatever this reason here, when it actually was because they didn't know how to do their jobs. It wasn't because the company was bad or anything. It's just that the employees there didn't know how to do their jobs. And I basically had to do their job for them, tell them what to do. So I finally got rid of those guys, and it took me several months to get my money back with them. And when I started trying to get my money back, I got to the point, I think it's back in June sometime, he says, well, we're gonna give you your money back. We promised, as I said, 100% guarantee in their website, 100% guaranteed money back. Okay. So then they keep on saying, well, you're changing your mind, and we don't give refunds when you're going to change your mind or whatever. I said, once again, I'm not changing my mind. You guys don't know how to run a company. I've had now 3 different people, and finally the guy says, well, I'll give you your money back if you can't, this third guy doesn't work out. So then I finally got a hold of the manager or whatever that told me that I can get my money back. And they put all the wheels in motion to get my money back. And I still didn't get my money back. It was 2 weeks. They said, well, I'll give you your money back in 10 to 12 days. And I still didn't get my money back. So what I had to do and get my money back was to file a dispute with my bank. With my credit card, I had to use several different credit cards to pay for all this stuff. And I got all my money back finally. But there's a dispute in one of my banks that hasn't cleared yet. So that's still in the works, trying to get that, dispute cleared or whatever. And then here recently, a lot of you have seen my most recent website on this Insightful magazine. And I started having problems with this company. This company was out of Florida. So the first one was out of California, second out of Florida, and this third one was out of Chicago. Okay. And so I spent some money with these guys, over $1,000. Try to get, first of all, all I wanted was a logo. And then I got into having them build my website for me, which they did. I liked the website, but it was the idiot I was working with. Okay. This stupid idiot. It happened like a couple days after I started working with them. he sent me a file of what my website was going to look like, but I didn't know it was just a JPEG. I thought it was going to be my whole website. Okay, basically it was a JPEG, and I didn't know that. And so I was trying to figure out how I could see this thing because I couldn't see it because all it was just like a sheet of paper, you know, like 5 inches long and only like maybe an inch wide or so. So I couldn't see the whole thing. And I was trying to explain to him the problems I was having, and he was just downgrading me, make me feel like an idiot, and you name it. And I was just cussing and swearing and everything you could think of, trying to get him to understand. Shut up! I need you to listen to me, And he didn't shut up. He didn't listen to me. And then I just kept on working with this idiot. I don't know why, but I did. They finally got my website built, and now I'm in the process of getting my money back off those guys because of that idiot that I was working with. Okay. So this all has to do with customer service. The death of customer service, and it's going to get worse. In my opinion, the future of customer service is just going to get worse for everybody. We're just going to have nothing but problems because you're not going to be able to get a live. It's getting to the point you can't get a live person. How many times have you called somebody on the phone and you hear this from the computer? I can talk in complete sentences. I can talk in complete sentences. That's a bunch of BS. They didn't talk to you in complete sentences. You talk to them in complete sentences, and the next thing you hear is, I didn't understand you. And then the next thing you hear is, I can understand complete sentences. I didn't understand. They didn't understand me. I said, I want customer service. I want to speak to a live agent. And I can't understand you, but I can understand complete sentences. Thank you very much. Well, heck with all that. Bunch of idiots. But the same token is that I have problems almost everywhere I go, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be Walmart, whatever the case may be. They don't understand me, and I don't understand them. And I have this problem all the time, almost every single day. I go, and basically it's worse in the restaurant than it is anywhere else. I went into Taco Bell one time, and the girl there, she wasn't properly trained, so she didn't know how to take a special order. And then she started crying because I was trying to tell her I need to have, I need to have my taco such and such a way. Okay. I don't want, I want you to put, you know, onions and tomatoes on it and, stuff like that, And for some reason, didn't know how to do a special order. So she just started crying, you know. The thing is that no matter where you go, a lot of times McDonald's, whatever, they have a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. I don't know how many times you probably ran into the same problem. So customer service is a big deal. Now I got to tell you this one story, and maybe you're going to find it hard to believe, but it's true. I went into Best Buy. I had to return something. Went into Best Buy. I started talking to this gentleman. And I could tell he was very intelligent. Matter of fact, I found out that he had a degree from University of Missouri in engineering. I can't remember what kind of engineering it was, but he had a degree in engineering. But he was in the section of the returns area, and he didn't know how to do a full return. He only did like portion of it. But then he had to have somebody else come in and do the return for him. But this gentleman, very extremely intelligent, wasn't trained how to do an entire return. And these are the kind of problems I'm talking about, like customer service. The death of customer service is the big thing, and it's just going to get worse. And if you're experiencing that problems, just give me a holler. I'd like to do a podcast with you because that's my next step. And I've been trying to find these companies, working with these different companies to get a podcast. And this one right here is not too bad. The StreamYard, I can go live pretty quickly. Okay. And I got this virtual background, makes it look like I'm living in a fancy home and everything. And I'll be glad to sell it to you like $500,000 if you're interested. It's just a virtual background, $500,000. Anybody's got that sitting around the house. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about is the death of customer service. We're in for a shock if you haven't realized it already. We're all going to AI. Everything is going to be computerized, and we're going to get to the point where we don't even talk to live people anymore. It's going to be a computer screen to get your money back. If you go into customer service, it's not going to be an actual live person there. It's going to be some stupid computer that you're going to have to deal with, and then somebody else is going to have to come along and figure out what's wrong with that computer because it's not working right. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Is and I'd like to have your feedback. Don't you think that's what's happening now? It's terrible. You can't get a live person on the phone anymore. It's very difficult, and that customer service is dying. The live customer service is dying, and that's what my whole podcast that I'm doing right now is all about. And I hope to hear from you. Okay, we'll see you on the next time.